I asked the city council to remove Amel Ali and let Chastity Dillard make her the chair, because she's the vice chair now. Make her the chair so that you all could continue to do the work that you're doing. Not one time trying to stop TRC. Not one time trying to come before you all. Like Tashaylin said, Tashaylin was the vice chair when you all voted me down, but instead I resigned. But I was the chair, and you made a decision right away that I had called a young man on the phone and talked to him, and all y'all know is, like I told you, Eric, I told you, Traore, today, I never even know why I was being voted down or what I had done to be voted down. No one ever, like Tashaylin said, no one ever told me what I did. They just said, we're voting you down. And I said, no, you're not going to vote me down. I'm going to step down. Am I hurt? Yes, I'm hurt. But I can move forward. I'm willing to move forward. Today, Clifton Johnson, Muhammad Traore, and Eric Harris, we invited y'all to the Black Voices. We are ready to sit down and work with y'all. The white people are looking at us and they think that we're going to continue to fight, but the fight ends today. It ends today because we're going to work together. But I'm just asking you, in order for us to move forward, to do the right thing.
Everybody here, and I think everybody watching, knows that this entire thing is a result of someone who is in power having their feelings hurt and wanting to use that power to assassinate the character and life of an individual in an act of revenge. The words said by Amel are being intentionally interpreted in the worst possible faith, and it is clear to everyone with ears and eyes that this is an attempt to kneecap the TRC by County Supervisor Royceann Porter, who has a history of conflict with the commission as well as a history of acting in an extremely unprofessional manner, putting petty grievances over the work the TRC is attempting to do. The entire council saw such behavior. Using the words of the TRC themselves during their meeting earlier this month, Amel does the most work out of all the commissioners. Voting to take her off the commission would not only be giving into the wishes of a bully who not only seemingly lied to this council about how she obtained the recordings in question, as well as the contents of the recordings, as someone who knows what was said, they are being completely misinterpreted, and it is actually the opposite of the truth, and no one here has heard the entire recordings.
Yes, I apologize for the wrong that I've done. And I've forgiven Amel because I cannot go forward I cannot continue to work in this community if I don't forgive her. I forgive you, Amel. I'm sick of this. And it needs to stop. But you did this. I didn't do this. And I have been here. Look at our black community. They here. I have represented them the whole time I have been in Iowa City. And to get here and listen to white people get up here and tell me who I am, no, they won't. No, they won't tell me who I am because I know who I am. I am a beautiful black woman.
Order of business is a proclamation. This proclamation is for Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Awareness Day, July 6th, 2023.
I am very appreciative of this gesture. It means a lot because we do have such a small Indigenous community here in Iowa City, but yet this issue has no boundaries, and so, you know, it very well could affect somebody here regardless of whether or not we have a large Indigenous community. You know, Iowa, we like to think that, you know, bad things aren't happening here to Native people, but they happen all the time.
I got something to say. I want to say, I truly thank you for being here. I thank you for standing up for what you feel is right. I thank you for being the advocate for this type of thing, because it happens. And when we're talking about race, I would like in return for this not only to be about Indigenous people, but all people, because just last year we went through the same thing when our community faced the black leaders in this community going through calling us coons and niggas. So I'm going to stand for you. I've always stood for anything that had any negative approach on anybody, but in response, we want to see the same thing. So it should be for all people, Indigenous, whoever. So I respect you and love that you're on TRC, you speak out or whatever, but it has to be reciprocated.
What?
It has to be.
Are you, I'm sorry.
I'm just saying,
This, how can,
if you
saying
want-
that this should be about all people is saying
No,
like
not
that
like
this
that,
is
sweetie.
like
I'm
all
talking
lives
about-
matter.
No,
like,
no, sweetie. When it comes to race, when it comes to being people putting us out there as well.
So we're talking about the missing and murdered Indigenous women's
No, ma'am.
crisis
No,
right
you
now.
taking
That's
it
why I'm
another
here
way.
today.
You're taking it another way. I've said what I've said, and I respect you and truly adore your advocacy. But I'm just stating for race.
Can I get
Period.
the thing? Do I get the proclamation?
Yeah, you
Okay,
do.
thank you. Can somebody hand that to me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is very upsetting, and I'm about
I'm
to
sorry,
cry
I didn't mean
because
to upset you
this
if you
is
get
not
upset.
like an all
you for being
persons
here.
thing right now. This is about like a missing and murdered Indigenous
It
woman's
is.
issue.
It
It's not-
really is. And you just asked
So-
us, I'm just saying, you asked us to, we stand with you. We're not, it's not, nothing stating that I'm stating is against you. I'm just saying, race period, how everybody is treated, how we as Black people are treated in this community as well.
I understand that. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, like that's understandable. But right now we're trying to talk about a specific issue, and like we can't just make it like we can't just like we have to be specific about what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
so-
true. You're right.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Sakawas. Appreciate your time and awareness.
I think that given what happened today for our proclamations, I really, in this, now I've been here 7 months, 6 days, I've seen people come in for proclamations and leave harmed. And whether it is intentional or not. And it's really, as a person of color, as a queer person, as somebody that is of the marginalized folks, it's hard to ask people to come and do these types of proclamations.
We as Black people, Black history means something to us as well.
Yeah, and I'm-
So calling us coons and niggas and having to deal with that and you coming forth, I don't feel like I said anything wrong. I just asked for it to be reciprocated the same way you're asking us to please take in that. Do the same for us. I don't feel like I did anything wrong.
I'm saying whether you intended to or not. That's all I'm saying. She walked away harmed. Like
And I
that's,
apologized before she walked out the door. I tried to tell her.
I know, and
So I didn't mean to harm her in
I know you
no
didn't.
kind of fashion whatsoever. But it's not going to stop me from saying whatever protocol you have, my feelings and how I feel about me and this community and how we're treated, I'm the same way, B. I'm in the same boat as her.
I
I'm not
know
here
that.
to hurt her in any kind of way.
I know that.
And I didn't intentionally try to. It's amazing to me for someone to sit here and talk about harm and respect. We're going to talk about harm and respect. That's what you want to talk about? And then you have nerves to talk about it, check your processes on how you respond to people. You had 2 people to get up today that came for processes to come speak before us to talk about processes, which Sakawis came up forward, and so did Amel Ali. Amel Ali spoke after she did. But when we talk about harm and respect, Amel Ali, they both serve on the TRC. So when she don't know more, she did. I did. I served on the TRC, and I don't know more. I stepped down. But what I do want to say is, Amel Ali stood before us today talking about respect and harming somebody. Amel Ali called me, as a Black leader in this city, in this community, a nigger. She's an immigrant. She's born in Sudan. But she went on a podcast and she called me and the older Black leaders in our community a nigger, called us coons. And y'all want to talk about harm and respect, like we don't have feelings? Please make it make sense. And in the process of going through city council, as city council commissioners, because they are appointed by the city council, we all were appointed by the city council. She admitted that she did it, but then she started talking about all the trauma that she had afterwards. Trauma.
Yeah.
So I'm going through this, Lisa. I'm going through this because when we talk about respect, the same lady that's talking right now in the process when I went before city council stood in the meeting at city council and said she need to get over it and move on. That's what I was told by Sakawas.
No.
In a meeting. Yes, you can go back and listen to the city council meeting. I want to talk, I'm going to get to
I
processes.
just want to say, though, that we weren't able to address
Yeah,
that.
check it out. That's
because
right.
that was not
Listen
our
to the meeting. But I'm going down my notes as how I want to say when we talk about processes. Everybody needs to know, these people getting up saying like I've done something. I was the one that was harmed.
You did do something.
I was the one who was harmed.
Over her.
I was the one who was harmed.
Let's
Yes.
take a 3-minute break.
But why were you
Come back.
why were you harmed? Nothing. I said nothing towards
We will take
indigenous
a
women.
3-minute recess so we can come back.
Girl, bye.
And
Bye. Y'all got me
gather
messed up.
ourselves.
I'm going to say what I want to say. Y'all can't sit and let the ones who's doing the harming act like it's okay for them to harm.
You cannot.
If we gonna
We are
talk
in
about the
recess.
big picture, talk about the big picture. That's what I apologized to her that day.
Process.
In the process, if you go back and listen, I apologized to her
But
in
you
that
harmed.
same meeting.
Okay,
In that same meeting.
this
So
ain't-
y'all ain't gonna come in here trying to put me on front. I guarantee you.
You harmed
baby,
the whole indigenous
and so did she and Amel when she called the black leaders in our community
And I
niggers.
don't
She
want-
called us niggas,
You're right.
and they harmed
You're
us.
right. You're
and
right.
they harmed
You're
us.
right.
But y'all ain't have nothing to say about that.
Respect.
But you didn't say nothing about that.
pain is valid.
Respect.
Please,
valid.
you didn't have nothing to say about that. But then you want to come here and make it seem like I'm the one causing harm. I apologize.
Well,
I'm done.
I'm not
Y'all
done.
ain't gonna stop me from saying what I gotta say. I said nothing about indigenous people. I've never been
you
anti.
disrespected the murdered and missed. Let me
No,
tell you
ma'am.
something.
No,
you
ma'am.
could have said Sakawas is a
No,
bitch.
ma'am.
Marie's
No,
a
ma'am.
bitch.
I wouldn't say that.
There
I'm
would
not
have been
gonna
no
call you a bitch.
conversation.
No.
But
No.
you disrespected murdered and missing indigenous
No, I
relatives
didn't.
while
No,
we're
I-
digging our children up.
What I
Royceann,
said, listen,
you may
Marie.
not- listen.
What I
Hold
said.
on, can I finish?
Yeah, you can finish.
Okay, listen. You may not have meant to do that. You may have not meant to do that, but you did, and that's what I'm
No,
telling
I didn't.
you.
The same person who stood up in the city council meeting and said, fuck the black community, it's about the indigenous. Girl, you sound like a fool. You know that was said. She said that in the meeting. Oh, I wish city council was here. Oh my God, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. Yeah, you can't be a bully neither, because you don't scare me. Yes, you are a bully. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I apologized to you that day before you walked out, and you know I apologize. I don't come in here, sit and smile and chat and drink coffee and conversate with you. You're not gonna get that. You want to talk about a hostile workplace environment? Ever since you've come on this board, it's been hostile to me. Because of the simple fact, you want to talk about the five of us, if we got a problem with each other, how we can go to one another and should talk to one another. When you didn't like something any of us said, mainly me and the ARPA team, you ran behind the computer, start typing, you tweet and you Twitter. Today you have your little constituents come in. She doing all this for you. Nice shirt, Supervisor Green. These are your constituents, the people that you are. This is the young lady who called us a nigger. Yet you continue to bring her in my space and think it's okay, that I'm supposed to be okay with it. Y'all can go to hell today. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You didn't put me in my position, and the only way you're going to get me out is to run somebody against me. I don't come up in this office because I don't even like walking up in here. I come in here on Wednesday and Thursday, and I get here right before 1 or 2 minutes before it's time to come out here on this floor. So y'all want to sit and talk about accountability, and you, the city of Iowa City, paying you to do truth and reconciliation healing. But yet you think it's okay for people to come in space where, how can I get healing? You bring these same people who dogging me out on Facebook, demeaning my character and everything else. This is what I'm supposed to put up with. Y'all is, I can't even believe I'm sitting here saying this, but I'm going to say it today. And this is the only time I'm going to say it. You will not. Until you run somebody for office to get me out of here, you can record live all you want to. Record yourself when you was on that podcast. When you was on that podcast. No. I just don't even understand how all this is going on. And I'm supposed to sit here. Y'all expect me to sit here. She called us niggas. She's sitting here today. Y'all think it's okay? She one of your little constituents. Nice shirt, Supervisor Green. You got me messed up. And I promise you, I'm going to talk because I'm tired. And I ain't going nowhere. You got to get your constituents to vote me out. Run somebody against me because I do my job. I do what I'm supposed to do. Just because you don't like it, I do. And y'all want to talk about hostile workplace? It's been hostile since January. It's been hostile since you come in. January, our whole board of supervisor office was a shithole. From our director to the manager of our opera team, communications, it's been a mess. And y'all want to look at me like I done something? Hell to the no, I didn't. And you want to look at me like I don't do my job? Accountability? No, I'm not coming in here to sit down. I don't even like coming in here. And trust? I don't trust you. I don't trust you, and I don't trust you. Know that. So working together, we're going to work as liaisons. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my job. When I go to the directors, I'm going to do what I need to do. The department heads, I'm going to do what I need to do. As far as conversation, we won't have none. None.